I have no doubt that cowardice, moral cowardice, abounds in the world. Without my knowing what it was, I think it was my quote ruin, which was important in my recruitment into Scientology. I didn't speak up when I morally should have. If we are all moral cowards, then there would be no one who modeled for people moral courage. Yet it is known that such people do exist. It is also obvious that the morally cowardly can fake or pretend moral courage. You did this as a quote post-beingness throughout your OSA career. Hubbard faked fearlessness on a gargantuan scale and even faked military service, wounds, and medals to prove it. Cowardice was his human sin, above which he never rose. Cowardice is one of what I've called elsewhere the Scientologists' valuable final products, VFPs, which are produced and maintained in their characters or psyches. For many years, one of your most important hats was enforcing cowardice among Scientologists. In large part, you succeeded by threatening and silencing or destroying any Scientologists or wogs like me who might get courageous. In Scientology world, getting courageous is really speaking up and telling the truth about their Scientology-related experiences and knowledge. It is not hard to see that people's moral cowardice puts the whole world in peril, and moral courage stands against it. I was just sent a Winston Churchill quote, "Courage is rightly esteemed the first of human qualities because it is the quality which guarantees all others." Conversely, cowardice guarantees, I think, the anti-qualities, the rest of the anti-valuable VFPs. It would be foolish to uncritically let known cowards be accepted as models of courage. The resolution of your cowardice cannot but involve the truth of what exactly you did and made others do to persecute individuals, wogs, whether in the SP class or not, and you have never spoken up about it. Even Rathbun, who now publicly and insouciantly serves the Miscavige sect's antisocial purposes, which, for years after leaving the SO, he had covertly served while pretending to expose and oppose those purposes, is acknowledging that you have never said what you did and had done to whom to silence or destroy them or drive them crazy. In his recent videos, Rathbun repeated this accusation of the obvious, almost as a commendation to you for holding the line so perfectly and not spilling your conspiracy's criminal beans. Rathbun, Miscavige, and the rest of the cult conspirators do not want you or anyone else, for that matter, to tell the truth about your persecution of people, the truth-telling class. Many Scientologists and their collaborators, duplicitous or duped, want you to stay dumb when morally you should be debriefing. And I have a clip here from Rathbun's Troublemakers Part 7 video.
So Rinder begins establishing his credibility by saying, if the church believed someone was an enemy and needed to be silenced, it was my job and I did it. Okay. I challenge anyone to go find and cull where Rinder has disclosed in the 9 years that he's been out, or the 7 years that he's been out, the specific confession of his having silenced anybody. There's not a single one. I was involved with the guy during his entire time over the church's External Affairs Bureau, and was the guy that got him a job. Once he got out, it was the guy that got him job after job after job that allowed him to continue to go after Scientology without having to work. He's never given a single specific or particular to back that up. And yet that's how he establishes his credibility for episode 1.
Your statement in episode 1 of the Aftermath series that Rathbun is referring to was, quote, part of my job, according to Scientology policy, was to discredit and destroy critics who spoke out against the church. If the church believed that someone was an enemy and needed to be silenced or destroyed, it was my job and I did it, end quote. Rathbun's reason for ostensibly pillorying you for not giving any specific or particular about the persons your sect's conspiracy wanted silenced or destroyed is very different from my reason for publicizing your unwillingness to provide these facts. Certainly, neither Rathbun nor his Scientology co-conspirators actually want you to tell the truth about the people you silenced or destroyed or tried to silence or destroy, or what exactly, time, place, form, and event, you did to try to silence or destroy us. You have so far, without apparent objection, complied with your co-conspirators' orders or command intention that you not divulge those facts. On the other hand, I do want you to tell the truth, for everyone's sake and survival, including yours. I do not want your cowardice to continue. Rathbun was your senior for many years, and is likewise responsible for silencing or destroying people your criminal conspiracy wanted silenced or destroyed, and specifically and particularly me. As I've been doing with you, I made real and sincere efforts over several years, ever since Rathbun started publicly presenting himself as a regenerate reformer and valiant truth-teller, to get him to tell the truth about what he did to persecute me and his other SB class victims. Like you, Rathbun has never given specifics or particulars about his victims and what he did and made others do to victimize it while he and you were inarguably in the SO. Like you, he has continued to victimize us after he claimed to have left the SO and his sect's control. As you are doing, Rathbun conned or maneuvered people into defending and encouraging his cowardly refusal to tell the truth. He even got people to ignore or vilify his victims and others who legitimately challenged his dishonesty and antisocial actions. In Rathbun's recent videos, where he appears to be attacking you, he is using Hubbard's confusion tech and actually generating cover for you, and for himself, and for Miscavige, and undoubtedly for other co-conspirators. Embedment without the truth is stupid as well as unsafe. The Scientologists use their seemingly sagacious precept that their victims are, quote, responsible for their own condition, end quote, to excuse and enhance their victims' victimization. This precept is no more true, as the Scientologists apply it, than terrorist bombing victims are responsible for their own bombing or responsible for their condition of terrorist bombing victims. In your case, however, you are responsible for your own condition of cowardice. Bombing victims have no power to change their condition. You can change your condition just as Zinberg changed his cowardice condition. Simply muster the easily musterable courage to tell the unadorned, unrationalized truth about what you did. The persecution of SPs is motivated and rationalized by religious doctrine. The Scientologists base this doctrine on the SP class's religious actions or sacraments. These are improper, criminal, or punishable only by Scientology religious scripture and by the religious hierarchies, religious edicts, the religious criminal conspiracies, commandments. The person you say is responsible for making you silence or destroy people, or otherwise black PR and fair game us, David Miscavige, is, without argument, the Scientology religious sect's ecclesiastical head. You not only criminally conspired to deprive us of our rights, but your actions to silence or destroy SPs like me, and to make others produce so as to silence or destroy us, also constitute hate crimes. You continue to manifest the hate toward me that was instilled in you and demanded of you when you were officially posted in the sect's SP persecution department. You have also not communicated anything that signals to me that you are now more restrained than previously from acting on that hate. The cover and good PR you have garnered in the critic community have not generated in you a discernible desire to reach out to me to correct your black PR or the injustices you perpetrated. I am not a member of the critic community and was hated and attacked by several of its members before you and Rathbun assumed opinion leader roles, but I am more of a target since your assumptions. In relation to us, your SP victims, you share several factors or conditions with Hubbard. Both of you sought or seek to convince us and other WOG publics and your Scientologist juniors of your honesty, your sincerity, your trustworthiness, your integrity, your courage, your ethics, and your excellent, loving, humanitarian intentions toward your fellow man. Both Hubbard and you used and use evil tech, fear and lying to do your convincing. You both used deceptive and hypnotic devices to obtain undue influence over your targets. You both used the same antisocial PR and intelligence tech, waged lawfare, and committed crimes to gain acceptance. You have not signaled that you are now using some other PR tech. People, both WOGs and Scientologists, who told the truth about Hubbard and his co-conspirators' dishonesty, insincerity, treachery, fraud, cowardice, criminality, or evil intentions became your fair game targets.